So the last thing I did was we set parameters, I think it was 125 and 126 was our basically bias adjustment parameters, because I was running like 58 Hertz at 10 volts. Well, I adjusted those up slightly, and now we should be right about 60 Hertz. I was running 59.9 or something like that as I got to 10 volts DC signal going into my input for the drive. And it's slow going. It's monitoring that static pressure, and it's just ramping up till it sees it gets to either its maximum or its set point. Here's my 10 volts, 59.98. What is up, guys? So I'll show you a little bit of what I got going on today. I'm economizing right now. This unit, it is a VAV system. This is 20 tons, I believe. We've had some issues out of it. So initially I found they had slowed the motor way down because they were concerned about amp draw. I don't think their meter was really capable of doing the amps off of this VFD. So I'm not going to go into the whole operation of the VFD, but it wasn't reading amperage on the drive. So we were taking an amp draw here. Actually, I think they were trying on the inlet side, and they were getting all kinds of crazy readings. So they slowed my blower way down. I actually sped it up the other day and haven't had any complaints about it. I was running about 0.8 inches of static. My set point is 2 inches of static. After my initial adjustments, I got it up to about 1.3. I'm still trying to maintain, because I'm trying to overcome ductwork issues down below. That's a whole nother problem. Some of them have been resolved. This is actually a fairly new unit. This was put in place of an old ream that they had tried to make a VAV system out of and have 30 thermostats on a wall. So we've corrected a lot of that, and my goal today is to get my static pressure up and to adjust my pulley, increase the speed on this blower. What they didn't know was we can actually go, if we hit set, that's actually showing me my amp draw. So that's 5.3. Forget what my motor exactly was. I think it was that 7.6 mark, and it's got a service factor range of 1.25, I believe. So we're going to play with the new fieldpiece 680 and see how it does. Checking the amp draw on this. My other meter was off as well, so I didn't want to adjust too far because I wasn't being very accurate, and I didn't want to kill my motor. So let's just try this real quick. Let's set her to amps, and then we can read amps and volts, and it will do Hertz as well. So Hertz and volts. Let's start with amps. Just get on the outlet side and see how accurate we are. 5.5, 5.6. I'm showing 5.3. It's pretty damn close. What does it show my Hertz? Hertz, 62 Hertz. What they did, I believe, is actually cranked the Hertz up to 62. Let's get this off here. To try to get more speed out of it, because I think they knew they had an issue, but without the right tools, they're just unable to check it properly. So I'm pretty happy with my amp draw right now. I can go up to 7, so I'm going to be able to increase this blower a whole lot more and hopefully get about 2 inches of water column out of it. The original unit, when they pulled it up, we actually found like a 4-inch gap between the supply and return air, and we were recirculating air, and plus the airflow issues down in the ductwork. This goes down a couple floors and feeds some different areas. But we're going to try to get her bumped up, see if we can increase the speed while monitoring our amp draw so we don't overamp and kill our motor. We got the new MB3 as well. It fits that meter nicely. And I'm really liking this meter so far. It's the first time I've been able to actually use it and play with it. But it seems to be pretty accurate. Now that I didn't know we could read amps on this either until I researched the drive itself. So we can actually see here, I was running 1.3 the other day. I'm actually doing better. I'm at 1.6 duct static. So we're going to be able to increase that speed and get that static up. After I got my static up, it was operating a whole lot better. You could tell there was an issue. When I pulled the blower door off, there was no resistance at all. I mean, it was like the blower wasn't running. So I knew something was off, and then I realized that they had the drive pulley just completely adjusted, like all the way out. The belt was actually riding in the damn the threads for the adjustable part of the pulley. I made a large adjustment the last time. Actually, I went in 5 full turns to get my static where it was, or where it is now. And just before I had the correct meter, I was unable to accurately check my amps, and I was kind of fighting the same battle they were. I'm not sure what meter they were using. I was using a cheapo meter. It's a true RMS, but I could tell that it wasn't very accurate. So I didn't want to overload my motor. I did the best I could with that, getting the static up, and it's been a whole lot better, but we're going to solve a lot of our problems if I can get that static up a little more. So we can see here, basically the VAVs that you're seeing at 100% are my problem areas, or were my problem areas. We can see now we're doing a whole lot better with the adjustments I made, because we're damn near at set point. The left column is the space temperature, and the right is set point, and then discharge air temperature. I'm getting good CFM out of each of them, and we're getting down there. They like to keep these rooms cold. They are surgery rooms, so they like them nice and cool. And you can see that we're doing really well with just the small adjustments I made. Well, 5 turns, I guess that's not a small adjustment. One problem solved at a time. We've went through a whole lot of hell with this unit, or with the old unit, I should say. The new one's been much better, and now we just need to fine tune it a little bit. So first thing we'll do, you can see my pulley that I adjusted. Oh, my flashlight died. What the hell? I've adjusted it in pretty far. Not too bad. I've got a new belt for it too, because you can see, if you can see that mark down there, when it was riding the threads inside, it actually was damaging the belt. Let's get the belt off. See if we can get that key out, loosen that, and see. I got a couple more turns, it looks like. Let's see. My motor, y'all can't see it because it is tight in there. It's like 8.6 amps. I'll get a picture of it and maybe put it up there. We're gonna verify that because it is hard to see. Get that adjusted. So we'll loosen that outside set screw. Pull the key out. And we're gonna count our turns. And we're gonna go, that would be half a turn. Back to that position is a full turn. Now, I'm at 5 amps. It's rated 8 amps. So I think I'm gonna be able to go all the way in with this. So that's 1 turn. Let's see how far she goes. That's 2 turns. That's 3 turns. That's about all I got. See, that belt is going to be riding on top of there. So let's go back and just say 2 turns, and we'll see where that gets us. So we can see our belt's in there nice and good. Let's go ahead and get this adjusted. I've showed this 100 times. These are easy to adjust with these idler pulleys. If you turn the right way, that'll adjust your tension. And then you lock down that inside nut and it'll hold it in place. Don't lock down the outside nut. The screw will actually bust through the end, and then you'll never have a hell of a time adjusting again. Alright, so we're adjusted. I got good tension on my belt, not too much. These idler pulley bearings will wear out if you over tighten them. It's like that one's got a little movement in it already. First thing I noticed was the pressure on the door when I opened it, and this was all the way adjusted. It was almost couldn't adjust anymore because they had this opened up so wide to get the tension right. They had to adjust it all the way out. So let's get the power back on and see where we're at. So we started back up. We got 6.7 amps, 6.8 amps. Let's see, wrong button. 6.4. So I'm reading a little higher, but it should be fine. 8.6 amps at 460 volts, so I'm still well under my amp draw. I can adjust more if I need to. I just want to go a little at a time and see where my static pressure gets. So we got her started back up. I'm showing 6 amps up there. I know that's hard for y'all to see. We're running 6.2 amps here, so all that's looking good, and that's good. Once I get my static up, I can I'll be able to the speed will be able to slow it down because I'm moving enough airflow, and then as VAV boxes close, it'll actually ramp down. So with the belt like it was running 100% the whole time, and it never was able to even slow down because it was not putting out enough airflow. And I had it close already, because you can see with just those 2 turns, I haven't seen 2 inches of static on this ever. So you can see all the other ones seem to maintain, but the highlighted unit is the one I'm working on. That I'm doing much better on my static now. So we're gonna leave it like that and monitor it for a little while and see, just make sure our amp draws stay good, and see how much more airflow I can get out of this thing. So now I'm just checking. I set my pressure set point down to just make sure that my fan was slowing down. See my speed status, 41. I'm still running 1.9. So I don't think my drive is accepting the signal. They may have the signal set up wrong or whatever. Let's go check to see what it's doing up on the roof. You can see 6 amps, drive showing 5.8. I'm still showing 60 Hertz. And it's at 60 Hertz. So now I need to check my signal in here and make sure I'm looking for the right signal coming from the control, because I'm not modulating down. It should be slowing that speed down right now. So this is my run command here. This is my signal in to tell it what to do. And that's coming from right back here. And we've got, if I can get on it, 6.6 volts. I think it's a zero. I think this is a 0 to 10 volt signal. So 6.6, it should be about right, because 10 would be max speed. 6.6 would be it trying to drive down. It's got a minimum Hertz of 35, I think it was. So looks like I'm getting a good signal out of my controller to my drive, but I need to check the parameter on what the drive's looking for, because if it's looking for a 0 to 5 volt signal and I'm getting 6, that might be why I'm still at 100%. So let's keep digging in. We'll figure this one out, and once we get that set, we ought to be good to go. So here we are the next morning. It started getting rained on yesterday, but still maintaining about 2 inches water column static. Only damper still at 100% is this one here, and you can see it's close to its set point, or actually it's below its set point, but the other 100% you see down here is a different unit. So we've basically satisfied all of our spaces. We're doing really well. I've got some parameters to go through on the drive. I had to button it back up so I didn't get rain on everything yesterday, but we're gonna go through the drive and see what we can figure out and see if we can get this thing ramping down like it's supposed to. All right, so let's see if this works. I basically reset the drive to factory defaults and went through the parameters I needed to, and I'm at 35 Hertz right now, and you can see I'm 0.5. My problem is the drive's looking for a different command because of the way it's set up. So it's actually sending 0 volts now, or 10 volts should be low. The drive's looking for 10 volts to be high, so speed increases as voltage increases. So we're going to change that to 0 and that to 10. We're going to save it, and we're going to send to device, and we'll give it some time and see if my drive ramps up to 60 Hertz. And I thought it might be moving. We're going to have to keep investigating because it doesn't look like it's speeding up. I'm going to go check my voltage again, see where we're at. So now my control is 10 volts DC. Mitsubishi told me that should drive it to max. I'm at 4 amps and 35 Hertz. So something's still not right. I think I got my signal correct. Let's keep on digging in. So, when in doubt, the simplest problem is usually the cause for your problem. It's like everything else we do. So basically, what I figured out, you can see I'm reading Hertz right now. Let's go back to my DC volts. So I got 10 volts DC, and I'm running at 59 Hertz. It's like it's coming up. We had my input on 2 and 5. We had common and positive reversed for the DC volts, and that's why it wasn't controlling the drive. Everything else was correct, except for the 0 to 10, 0 being the max. But other than that, she's working now. So we're going to monitor our static, and we'll let it hit static and then see it drop down. But we're about dead on where we need to be. Amp draw is still good, so let's monitor and see where we go from there. But she ought to be all right now. And we win again, guys. We're running about 59 Hertz at 9.95 whatever volts, but it's doing what it's supposed to. So thanks for coming and hanging out with me for a little while. Leave me a comment, hit the thumb, hit the bell icon, get notified when I got videos coming up, typically Tuesday at 4:30. Leave the trade better than y'all found it. See you guys next time. Now that I got her slowed down, let's see how accurate this is with Hertz. I'm showing 51. 51.5. Look at that, 51.5. That's awesome. Shout out to Fieldpiece. that's a great meter. I like it. I'm gonna continue to use that, obviously. Vito too. Go get you a Vito bag if you ain't got one. So we got this guy running like it's supposed to. Finally, took a little work, a little brain power, but you know, we made it happen. Leave me a comment, guys. Thanks for watching.